The deeper you understand people, the quieter your world becomes. Not because you hate them, but because you finally see them. You see the masks they wear every day. You see the deep-seated fears hiding behind their over-the-top confidence. You see the silent pain that fuels their loudest jokes. And one day, after seeing all of this, you realize something truly terrifying. You don't belong to the noise anymore. This is the loneliness of deep understanding. And it's a loneliness that most people will never, ever experience. What exactly is deep understanding? It's not about being intelligent. It's not about accumulating knowledge or having a high IQ. It's not about being smart in the conventional sense. It's something far more subtle, more intuitive. It's when you start to feel more than you speak. It's when you learn to observe the world around you before you react to it. It's that uncanny ability to understand people's behavior, their motives, their unspoken feelings, without needing them to spell it all out for you. You don't just hear their words anymore. You hear what's behind the words. You hear the hesitation, the hope, the hurt, and this is where the separation begins. This is where your path starts to diverge from the well-trodden highway of everyday life. You start to notice a shift in how you interact with the world. While others are caught up in heated arguments, you find yourself stepping back, analyzing the dynamics at play. You see not just the conflict, but the egos, the insecurities, and the unmet needs that are fueling it. While others are quick to judge and condemn, you find yourself empathizing, trying to understand the why behind someone's actions. You see the wound, not just the lashing out. While others are rushing through life, chasing the next thrill, the next distraction, you find yourself pausing. You start to feel the texture of the moments. You stop reacting emotionally to every little provocation. You stop needing constant validation from others to feel worthy. You stop feeding meaningless conflicts because you see them for what they are, a complete waste of your precious energy. And slowly, but surely, conversations start to feel shallow. You sit in a group, and while everyone is laughing and talking, you feel a profound sense of disconnect. Crowded rooms start to feel empty, like you're the only one there. It's not because the people are bad or boring. It's because your newfound depth no longer matches the surface-level interactions that satisfy most people. You're diving in the ocean, and they're content splashing in the shallows. Deep understanding is a powerful force, but it's also a destructive one. It systematically destroys illusions. You no longer blindly admire people. The pedestals you once put them on crumble to dust because you see their flaws, their struggles, their very human imperfections. But by the same token, you no longer fully hate them either. You can't, because you see that the most arrogant people are often the most insecure. The loudest individuals are often the most broken inside. The cruelest people are almost always carrying their own deep wounds, and when these illusions fall, your attachments weaken. The desperate need to be liked, to fit in, to belong to a group, it just evaporates. You stop needing to belong. And that's when the isolation truly begins. It's a quiet, subtle isolation, not one of physical distance, but of emotional and psychological space. You're in the world, but not entirely of it anymore. And here's the hardest part of it all. You understand everyone, but you feel like no one truly understands you. Your silence, which comes from a place of observation and peace, is mistaken for coldness or disinterest. Your carefully established boundaries, which are an act of self-preservation, are mistaken for arrogance or thinking you're better than others. Your calm demeanor in the face of chaos, which you've worked so hard to cultivate, is mistaken for indifference or a lack of care. But in truth, you've simply learned one of life's most profound lessons. Not everything deserves a reaction. Not every battle needs to be fought. Not everyone deserves access to your innermost world. Your energy is finite, and you've decided to invest it wisely in things that matter, rather than squandering it on trivialities. This is why, for the deeply understanding person, a certain level of loneliness becomes inevitable. When you look closely at the fabric of society, you realize that most connections are transactional. They're built on need, on ego, on a shared fear of being alone, or simply on the need for distraction. People come together to feel less empty, to have their opinions validated, to pass the time. But very, very few connections are built on genuine awareness, on a shared pursuit of truth, on real emotional maturity. So naturally, as you evolve, you outgrow people. You outgrow relationships. You outgrow entire social circles. Not because you're better than them, not at all. But because you are no longer compatible with chaos. Your spirit craves a different kind of nourishment, one that noise and drama can no longer provide. The loneliest moment in this entire journey is not losing others. It's losing the version of yourself who needed them. There's a part of you that grieves for your old self. You miss your old ignorance, the blissful simplicity of not seeing so much. You miss laughing without overthinking, connecting with people without constantly analyzing their every word and motive. You miss the easy sense of belonging you once had. But you cannot go backward. It's impossible. Once you've truly seen the world with clear eyes, you can't go back to pretending you're blind. The veil has been lifted, and you have to learn to live in this new, unfiltered reality, as stark and lonely as it may sometimes be. But this loneliness, as painful as it is also incredibly powerful. It's a crucible that forges a new kind of strength within you. Because now, you consciously choose peace over drama. You choose depth over popularity. You choose meaning over noise. You are no longer chasing attention or validation. Instead, you start to attract alignment. You attract people and experiences that resonate with your true self, with your deeper frequency. And that, my friend, changes everything. The quality of your life transforms. Your connections, though fewer, become infinitely more meaningful. Your solitude becomes a sanctuary, not a prison. Make no mistake, this awareness comes at a cost. It's a very real price you have to pay. It costs you your fake friends. It costs you your surface-level relationships. It costs you your emotional dependency on others. It costs you the comforting, easy illusion of belonging anywhere and everywhere. But what it gives you in return is immeasurable. It gives you unshakable self-respect. It gives you profound emotional clarity. It gives you a deep and abiding inner peace that the world cannot give and cannot take away. It gives you a quiet kind of strength, a resilience that comes from knowing who you are, independent of anyone else's opinion. So if you're listening to this and it resonates, know this. Not everyone who feels lonely is broken. Some are simply awake. If you feel different, if you feel detached from the noise, if you feel too deep for the shallow spaces you find yourself in, you are not alone in that feeling. You are just walking a rarer, less traveled path. And that path is silent for a reason. It's in that silence that you finally find yourself. Thank you for listening.